There's a scripture in my favorite book that says, "In all things give thanks. In all things give thanks." At this point in where we are in the coronavirus, they're saying that every every minute or 2 minutes someone dies from this coronavirus. It shows you how fragile life is. In all things, give thanks. And what I thought about yesterday, life hit me in the stomach. My oldest son called me in and he said, "Dad, I'm the one that's going to have to tell you." And I said, "What is it?" "My sister Serena, we believe that she has the virus." Let me tell you, I was like a little kid. I started crying immediately. I didn't, you ever had a call that you didn't expect to hear what you heard on the other end? I wasn't prepared to hear that. And I want to break this word up. Thanksgiving. In all things, give thanks. That we have so much to be thankful for. And we should not just have one day that we express that gratitude. When I get up each day, I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. Why? Because I believe having a spirit of gratitude is major. It's major. And every day we should be thankful. We're here because of God's grace and mercy. We are experiencing and enjoying things that we had nothing to do with our acquiring those things or being able to have those things a part of our experience. And even things that sometimes appear to be tragic. There are times we can look back and say, "Whoa, that didn't just happen to me, that happened for me." But it's also another place. Give, thanksgiving, giving, thanksgiving. They have an article out today that hunger in America is surging. And so we have an opportunity not just to connect with family members and friends, but make it a priority to give. Even if we decide that we're going to help one person, one family, let this Thanksgiving be remembered for what we gave of ourselves. There was a guy on television that last year this time, his family was giving out food. And this year, his family needs food. And even that he received, he shared that. Now that's what you call the Christ-like spirit. Let that mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. That you're willing to give. This is a time to give forgiveness. A friend of mine said something that really stuck home with me. She said, "The last time I saw the majority of my family members, because we've been so dysfunctional and so divided, it was at a funeral." Isn't it interesting that you can have a dispute with the family members, be angry with them, and when something happens to them, that goes out the window? Isn't that interesting? And so when we give forgiveness, when we are willing to have a bad memory, if there's a key to bringing families together, it's having a bad memory. Do you remember what you did? Yeah, but. I want you to like this page and share it. I want you to like it and share it. And if you're willing to give of yourself in this day, in this age, give of your talent, your abilities, your story to create a greater world. Evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. When you are willing to give compassion and understanding and stand in the gap for somebody that can't stand for themselves. Speak for those who are voiceless. Give hope where there's despair. Oh my goodness. Eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has entered the heart of mankind what God has in store for you. Thanksgiving. Thank you, Lord, for putting me in the position that I can give forgiveness, understanding, love, a meal, a smile, a kind word, write a letter to someone that's been a blessing to me. Write a letter to you, thanking you for what you have done for me that I did not earn or deserve. No, it's not all about the turkey. No. It's about all being grateful. Oh, having a spirit of gratitude every day. From this day forward, if you're not doing it already, when you get up in the morning, I say all things work together for good for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. And then I write down 7 things that I'm grateful for. 7 things that I thank God for. And I feel good. After I finish, I feel real good. You're going to feel good too. I thank God for you. I thank you for listening to this message, and thank you in advance for your giving. Thanksgiving, giving, love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness, giving of yourself, helping someone. Those people who are standing on corners with signs, don't just ignore them. Surprise them and make my day. I was in New York and one of my daughters, Samaya, guy came up to the window and she gave him some money and he walked away with such a bounce in his walk. She was around 9 years old. I said, what did you give him? She said, the $50 you gave me. I said, no wonder he walking with a dip. Oh my God, he was doing, hey. Oh boy, this thing called life, it's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. We woke up this morning. It's a wonderful day, as Warren Hudson would say, the best day of your life. You don't believe it? Try missing one. Thanks. Thank you so much, Lord, for allowing me to still be here, not taking a dirt nap. Say thank you, Lord. And give of yourself. Give of your time, your love. Give forgiveness. And forgiving is not holding back in terms of, well, I'll forgive, but I won't forget. No. Forgiving is remembering without anger and revenge and guilt. It's a beautiful day that we are experiencing now, and tomorrow it's going to be great. I'll be seeing my family virtually. My computer that does not sneeze and is not asymptomatic, and it won't cough on me. Listen, are you thankful for what God has blessed you with your voice, your ability to take charge of your life, that you just haven't had the courage to use your voice to strike out and do something that's you, this talent that you have? As Dr. Miles Monroe says, rob the cemetery of your voice. Rob the cemetery. Don't take it with you. No. There's some people waiting to hear you rob the cemetery of your voice. There are people who need your voice. There's a frequency behind every voice. And we have a program that will teach you how to use that voice to transform audiences individually and collectively. People need hope right now more than ever before. And when there's hope in the future, that gives you power in the present. People need a voice that will help them to keep the faith, baby, because these are challenging times and people need to know no test, no testimony. Faith not tested can't be trusted. And your voice will help them to realize, stop looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light of the world. Let me pull that voice out. Let me show you how to organize those stories that create special moments and experiences with an audience and command standing ovations and make some money too, baby. Oh, behave. Hello? And have a lot of fun. Just think about it. Doing something you love to do 8 hours a day at the comfort and safety of your home, at the computer. Don't get better than that. Come on now. Doing something you love from home, except for the children sometimes. Don't y'all make me come back there, Tyrone. Put voice in the comment section if you are ready to answer the call on your life. Job is what you get paid for. The calling is what you're made for. Allow me to be your mentor. It's no accident that you're watching me right now. You hear me in your heart. You know it's time. It's time. And pray for my daughter and my son-in-law, the greatest son-in-law in the world. Pray for them. I'm believing God that they're going to be just fine. But when I first heard it, it was a punch in the gut. And I heard these words, faith not tested can't be trusted. This is a test. Why are you crying? This is a test. Get yourself together and let her hear your voice and know that you're not afraid, that you know that she's going to, and he's going to get through this.
You know, it was Forrest Gump who said that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And it's true. You know, we celebrate Thanksgiving, but it's a time when you think about people that are no longer here. It's a time I'll always remember my mother. Mama would bake sweet potato pies, and I remember neighbors would say, Mamie! She'd say, what is it? Have you fixed those sweet potato pies yet? Mama would fix a sweet potato pie so good, you couldn't eat it with your shoes on. You had to take your shoes off so you could wiggle your toes. It was special. And she said, yeah, I fixed some, and I got some ruffled steak. That's what she called chitlins, ruffled steak. Baby Brown was something else. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have a lot to be thankful for, whether you realize it or not. You have something that the world needs. Continue to work to do your best to make your life an example and not a warning.
Hey, listen. I want to work with you. If you got a story to tell, the people in our community, ask them. Anybody you know that's in hunger to speak, they'll tell you. We have a good time. And I do sessions with them one-on-one. I help them in so many ways. I got somebody I'm supposed to coach this morning, and we have some fun because I love not only telling stories, I love to hear the story, pull the story out, let them do their own take on the story, and then show them, this is what I did with my story, so that you can learn how to do it with your story to speak intuitively and be able to increase your value, your impact, and your cash flow. People say money won't make you happy, but it's right up there with oxygen. I want you to go to If you're ready for something different, if you're ready to transition out of what you're doing now into something that you love, I want to ask you, if you knew you had 6 months to live, would you continue to work on the job that you're working on? I know a lot of people say, no, if you had 6 months, now you don't know how much time you have, but if you had 6 months to live. Now, if you ask me that question, if I had 6 months, y'all know what I would say. I would still speak. I gave a speech from my hospital bed. If you don't believe it, just Google it. Les Brown speaking in the hospital for an hour and a half. They told me I might lose my voice when they gave me radiation in my spinal area for 4th stage cancer. When I received, listen to this, you got to Google this. This is going to blow your mind. I was up 3:30 this morning, and I want you to do this. I'm giving you an assignment right now. I want you to look at me right now. You see me? Okay, good. When I had received 200, let me say it again. When I had received 238 radiation seed implants for prostate cancer. 238. I've never met anybody or heard of anybody who received more than that. The tumor was so large. I gave a speech 4 days later. You know what the title of the speech was? You are more powerful than cancer. No matter how much I weighed then, 165 pounds. If you go to Les Brown, you are more powerful than cancer. I was giving some students instructions on how to do a video and make it informative and engaging. And the guy in the studio, he was so enthralled, I was just going to give them like 5 or 6 minutes instructions, and he kept motioning me to continue. And so I ad-lib and continued to talk. Unbeknownst to me, his wife had breast cancer. She had given up, and he wanted to take that recording home to his wife, who was still here. And that was over 29 years ago. All right? And so, but I want you to look at me. I mean, I look like a skeleton, but I was fine though. I won't get my sexy back. I'm a fat boy right now, but I won't get my sexy back. Yeah, I got my little cheeks. Yeah, these little cheeks. Mama would love these cheeks. But they going. They going. They gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. All right. Listen, laughter is important. It boosts your immune system. 1 minute of laughter boosts your immune system for over 24 hours. You get through watching me, you won't get sick for 30 years. 1 minute of anger weakens your immune system for 4 to 5 hours. I studied psychoneuroimmunology. There's a strategy, there's a method to my, I'm not going to say madness, to my laughter. If you're ready to do something new, like a lady called me, she said, I just ran across you. I knew nothing about you, but I've just been watching you on YouTube, watching you speak in the Georgia Dome. Can you teach me how to speak like that and command an audience of 80,000 people? I said, yes, that's what I do. She said, oh my God, I want to learn how to do that. Can you help me have the confidence and not be fearful? I said, absolutely. I'm joining Hungry to Speak, and I'm going to bring my husband to join as well. I want you to go on YouTube and put in Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. And just watch me. I was scared, but I did it. I was scared, yes I was. I went to the bathroom 7 times. I had to knock on the door. Hey, Brownie, yes? It's time, man. It's solid for you to come up. Mike, okay, I just need a little bit more time. You scared, aren't you? Yeah. Ronnie, are you listening to me? Yes? Come on, man. Make your mother proud. Mike, don't use my mama on me. Come on, man. That's how they got me out the bathroom. I was scared. Then we started walking toward the stage. I grabbed their hands, Dexter Yeager and Mike Williams and everybody, the security guards, and I said, pray for me. And they started praying. I dropped down on my knees. Then I grabbed the hands and put it on top of my head like that was going to make a difference. But I did it. I did it scared. Scared. Oh, boy. Oh, he's happy. Yes, I am. Why? As Orrin Hudson would say, it's the best day of my life. And I don't know you. I can't even see you. It's the best day of your life, too. If you don't believe it, try missing one. Orrin Hudson. Well, he's a strategic thinker, teach our young kids how to play chess and how to be thinkers. Yeah, he's a bad boy. He's awesome. Awesome brother.
There's something in you. It says that you're not sitting back waiting to see what politicians will do for you. There's something in you that says, I'm not going to focus on the general economy. I'm going to focus on my personal economy. There's something in you that says the most dependable hand in the world is the one at the end of your risk. There's something in you that says always strive to get on top in life because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. You are different. You have greatness within you. Dr. Howard Thurman, come forth. Here's a man that, after having 238 radiation seed implants, and my PSA continued to increase. In fact, last year this time it was over 1,500, and the little C cancer had eaten 40% of my T1 vertebrae. And I was reading his words that night after leaving Florida Hospital, and doctors had told me that cancer had reappeared and metastasized in 8 areas of my body. And I began to laugh as the doctor spoke to me, and he was looking real serious. He said, why are you laughing? I said, I feel like Mother Teresa. He said, what do you mean? She said, Lord, I know you know how much I can bear. I wish you didn't have so much confidence in me. And now my PSA is 0.0. I'm debt-free, cancer-free. Yes, indeed. I stand before you because of God's grace and mercy. And trust me, it's better to be seen than to be viewed. But Dr. Thurman was called upon by Dr. Martin Luther King Sr. He said, Howard, I want you to mentor my boy, MLK. He was a member of an elite group of orators and mystics and philosophers in his day. He was an advisor to Mahatma Gandhi and to Abbot Schweitzer. He wrote, deep is the hunger, the voice of the genuine, the centering moment. He wrote some words that I was reading around 3 o'clock in the morning that grabbed me. He said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. He said, but imagine being on your deathbed and standing around your bed, the ghost of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and you, for whatever reason, you never pursued those dreams. You never used those talents. You never used those gifts. You never used those abilities. And there they are standing around your bed looking at you with large angry eyes saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with you forever. And the question is, if you died today, what dreams, what ideas, what books, what leadership, what voice, what story will die with you? Miles Monroe, great speaker out of the Bahamas, said the wealthiest place on the planet, it's not in the Far East where there's oil in the ground. It's not in South Africa where there are diamond mines. He said the wealthiest place on the planet is there you'll find potential never realized. There you'll find books never written. There you'll find abilities and skills and talents and gifts that the world never had exposure to. Maybe that's why Henry David Thoreau asked in a moment of anguish, what if you live your whole life only to discover that it was wrong? That it was wrong. God had so much more in mind for you. Maybe that's why he said, oh God, to reach the point of death, only to realize that you've never lived, only to realize that you've never scratched the surface of your potential. Everybody let us say together, live full, die empty. And the people in this room have decided to live full. The people in this room have decided to die empty. The people in this room have decided to live life on their terms and not to be a volunteer victim. When you say yes to this industry, you're saying yes for a bigger life. You're saying yes, I'm tired of playing small. You're saying yes, I'm ready to be empowered to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. You're saying yes to providing for yourself and your family. There's something that's in you that says, I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. You're saying yes to your life, yes to your dreams, yes to your unfolding future. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I didn't do this for years. I would go in the balcony of auditoriums and watch Jim Rohn and Dr. Dennis Waitley and Zig Ziglar. And my heart would beat so fast because I love helping people. How many of you love helping people? Raise your hands. I love helping people. And my heart said, I can do that. But then when I would leave there, and as I was walking to the car, my mental conditioning began to speak. And it would say, Les Brown, you can't do that. You don't have a college education. Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you have something to say that somebody would listen to you? Les Brown, you can't do that. What makes you think that you can speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, IBM? You've never worked for a major corporation. Les Brown, you can't do that. You were adopted. You don't even know who your parents are. How many of you ever thought about something you wanted to do? You felt it in your heart, and then your mind talked you out of it. Raise your hands, please. I convinced myself that I couldn't do it. I learned something from that experience. Whenever there's an argument between your heart and your mind, follow your heart. There are things that the heart can understand and feel that the mind cannot relate to. Maybe that's why my favorite book says, lean not unto thine own understanding, and all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. There are things that you feel, that you know in your heart of hearts, that's not logical, it's not practical, it's not realistic, but there's something in you that says, I can do this. I can do this. After facing defeats and disappointments and failures again and again and again, there's still something in you that says, I can do this. Operating out of a thinking when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because when you can look up, you can get up. I can do this. I can do this. When you present and people say, oh yes, I'd like to be a part of that. Yes, they have the personality and they need it, and they don't show up. You end up being a babysitter. You have to be a counselor and a psychologist and a minister. They challenge you to pray to Jesus and Yahweh and Melchizedek and Buddha. They'll get on your last nerve, have you chanting, Nomi Yoho Renge Kyo. It's interesting. when you talk to people about securing their future. And you can't help them to become actively engaged in their own life. A friend of mine named Lorraine had me to come to do an intervention with her brother that was addicted to drugs, and he told us to get out of his house. And as we were going down the steps, I said, I'm sorry I failed. I'm so disappointed. And she said something that I'll never forget. I want you to remember. She said, Les, most people won't participate in their own rescue. Wow. Most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own job. You have products that people need. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. You have leadership of people who've proven that it's possible you can live your dreams. It's possible you got a shot at creating a fortune. Everybody's not going to do it. We can't predict performance. And all you are saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. And don't take it personal when people say no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do that extra work. So they're saving you some time. They know they're trifling and don't want to work. Don't try and convince them to say yes. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. This is hard work. H-A-R-D and H-E-A-R-T. Hard work and heart work. You got to gut this out. You've got to make know your vitamin. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You have to operate like Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to be relentless when you're building a business. You got to be able to have courage after you face rejection and again and again and again. After somebody tell you they're going to show up and then they don't come, they don't return your calls. It takes courage to go out and start talking to people. It takes courage when creditors are breathing down your neck and family members saying, oh, there he goes again with another pyramid scheme. Am I making sense to you? What I'm doing. I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage. I was afraid of being rejected because I don't have a college education. I had a tremendous inferiority complex. And something else. In order to make this business successful, to go from a 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint, it's a different mindset. It requires a radical change. How many of you know that it's hard building a thriving residual income on a monthly basis? Raise your hands, please. Yeah. That's why most people won't say yes. It's much easier to complain about the economy. It's much easier to complain about our elected officials. It's much easier to talk about the recession. That's much easier to come up with excuses and why you can't do it. That's where I was. That's why I set up station for a long time. My mentor said something to me, Mike Williams. I want you to write this down. He said, anybody can complain. He said, if you do what is easy, that's complaining. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. Come on now. That's strong on medicine. If you do what is easy, complain about your situation, your circumstances. If you do what is easy, stand around and be a volunteer victim like everybody else. If you do what is easy, surrender and give up on your dreams, become depressed and bitter and angry. Anybody can do that. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, keep coming back again and again and again. If you do what is hard, approaching strangers, talking to people in shopping malls, get up dressed every day, going out prospecting, knowing some way, somehow, with a spirit of expectation, somebody's out here looking for an opportunity. You can go outside right now and see some pigeons, but you're out hunting for eagles, and they're not common. And if you do that over and over and over again, somebody's going to show up. Somebody's going to say, I'm the one. Dr. Thurman, I love him so much. What a great writer. He said, there's something in each and every one of you that waits and listens to the voice of the genuine in yourself. It will be perhaps the only guide you will ever have. And if you cannot hear it, all of your life, your days will be spent on the ends of strings that somebody else pulls. And I submit to you that you invested the time and money to go to the airport, to fly cross country. I suggest to you, some of you drove here. I suggest to you, you showed up because you said, I'm going to pull my own strings. I'm going to control my own life. Nobody will ever pull my strings again. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Here it is. Stop knocking on an open door. You have the power. You, your voice, you, your experiences, you, your knowledge, you, the things that you have gone through. Some things happen to you and some things happen for you. You're a gold mine. Coming out of this place where we are will be millionaires, billionaires, and witnesses. And those of you that listen to me, you're going to be a millionaire or a billionaire, but you won't be a witness. You won't just be standing around saying, I wonder what happened. No. Watch as well as pray. I like what Mary McLeod Bethune says. She said, pray as if everything depends upon God, but work as if everything depends upon you. If you're ready to, yes, if you believe that there's more in you, if you knew how to get it out, you'd have gotten it out. Come on, let's be real. Why'd you hire Mike Williams? Because I'd gone as far as I could go with the thinking and the approach that I had used. That's why Einstein said the thinking that has brought me this far has created some problems that this thinking can't solve. And most people won't give it up. They won't say, you know what? I don't know everything. The majority of people think they know everything, that everything they know right now is all that they will know. The majority of people buy a book and don't read past the first chapter. Let me tell you something. February 17th, I still read. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I got children, I got grandchildren, and I have 5 great-grandsons, one called King 7. Oh yeah, Valentino, he was born February the 7th, just a couple of days ago. He's a bad little dude. He's coming for you. Oh yes, he smiles at his daddy, Patrick. He's coming for you. He just looks so lovingly at his daddy. I can't wait to hold him. I can't hold him now. I can just look at him on Zoom. This is not right. This is just too much. I can't hold my great grandson because I don't want to put his life in danger, or his mother's, my granddaughter, or my son. This is different. This is so different. That's why we need to have things for our mind, have strategies for our mind. I'm encouraging you to go online and Google Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome and watch that speech on a regular basis. And Les Brown speaking It's Possible, and Les Brown and Miles Monroe. Watch those and listen to those on a regular basis and getting unstuck. Stuff power for your mind. And for those of you that want to use the computer to bring your personality out, because you have the opportunity now. It's a level playing field. Everybody's got to do it from here. Everybody, you can order food. I mean, you don't have to leave your house. You can just pick up a phone, Instacart, I think they call that thing. They'll deliver it to your door. You just wait until they leave. And then you get your Lysol to go out and spray it and drag it in the house. This is a different place. Now, some people don't cope. They don't care. They go out. I ain't going nowhere. No, not at all. No. I'm fine right here. Oh, boy. If you're ready to be coached, if you are ready to be stretched by me, if you want to be a world-class entrepreneur and business person, this is the new platform. Everybody's got to operate from here. Everybody. You want to invest in yourself. That's what I did. You want to develop your personality so you can get through there. It's not enough just to share information. You put me up against anybody. They can have PhD, MBA, or CB. CB stands for cornbread. That's me. You give them a computer and give me what? And let us go head to head. I'll get the butter from the duck. It's a level playing field. This is a golden age right now. Incredible opportunity for people who invest in themselves and get the coaching they need to bring out their personality, their passion, their energy, and how to monetize their knowledge and their skills. When a team have a losing season, they don't fire the players. You know what they do? They get a winning coach. They get a coach who wins. That's what they get. You want to be the best, you want to be coached by the best. I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you. Coaching matters. It matters. And so when you are serious and want a competitive edge and you want to win, I'm looking for people who are hungry to win. That's how I got here. I was hungry to win. I didn't care about your PhD or MBA. I was hungry to win, to control my own personal economy, to control my life, to take care of my mother, to buy my mother a home. I was hungry to do something that's me. It's me. I got tired of being fired. I'm not mentally fit to work for somebody for the rest of my life. There's some people that are. I remember a guy that I hired as my consultant. I'll never forget when I went to the city where I went to see him and spent a whole day with him, and he looked at me with amazement. And his wife said, when I left that day, he stopped me at the door and he said, "Thank you for turning to me as a consultant to train you how to speak and address corporations." He said, "But you know something, Les?" I said, "No, I wouldn't hire you." I said, "Why? I have an MBA. You think if it were in fact possible to speak to corporations around the world, I got an MBA, you think I would be working on this job where I'm working 65 to 70 hours a week? You think I don't have anything else to do with my time?" He said, "I'm just telling you, I got the check. I'm just telling you, you're wasting your time. They're not going to hire you." I said, "Thank you." He said, "You ought to give this up, man, and try and find a job in another city as a disc jockey." I said, man, that's behind me. I'm not looking back. I want to do something different with my life. And Mike Williams is with me. And his wife said, the two of them went to the window, looking out the window as I was getting in my car. And she asked him, do you think he's going to listen to you and give up this crazy idea of speaking to corporations and speaking around the world, even though he doesn't have an MBA like you, or any college at all, or any corporate experience? And he said, to his credit, he said, no. And she was stunned. She said, why? I thought you were very convincing. Why? He believes in you and what you say. And he said, he doesn't know enough to know that he can't do it. And so he's going to go forward. He's going for it anyhow. See, sometimes you've got to be intelligently ignorant. You don't know what you can't do. According to the laws of aerodynamics, a bumblebee isn't supposed to fly because its large body cannot be held up by its little puny wings. But the bumblebee doesn't know it. Sometimes you've got to be intelligently ignorant. Lean not unto thine own understanding. There's some things that does not fit within the realm of logic and reasoning and being practical. That's why we're taught to judge not according to appearances. You got greatness in you. Don't you judge yourself based upon your failures, based upon your past, based upon the stuff you've gone through. No! Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. No! You were born to do good stuff. No! You are more than a conqueror. And if life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. If you're ready to get back up and control your own economy, if you're ready to get back up and control your own life and be your own boss, and let me show you how to do it. I can hook you up. Oh, he's on fire. Oh, behave. Whatever. Better must come. As Althea Grant said. I want you to say that to yourself. You're going through some stuff right now? I want you to say, better must come, in a voice of defiance. She was under her aunt's bed and her aunt treated her like dirt. Her mother dropped her off and then let her know, I'm leaving the country, and left her with an aunt that treated her like nothing. And she heard a song called Better Must Come, and that was the mantra that kept her from losing her mind. Sometimes we need something that we can hold on to, something in spite of our situation, something in spite of the abuse, something in spite of the cruelty, something in spite of the hopeless situation that we find ourselves in, that we can hang on to and say, better must come. Better must come.
You talked about love and faith, and I made a transition in my life to understand and live in faith. I always thought money was my currency, the object of energy that I put into the flow to get what I want, and I was good at it. I was great at it. And then my whole life got turned upside down. I lost my own mom's house and had to go to her house and say, hey, I went bankrupt and forgot to take your house out of mine. The only reason I wanted to be rich was to buy my mom a house and a car, and I had to take it away. And she had the same belief as you, told me, it's okay. Do you need any money? She didn't care. She had to move. And to me, I understood and learned a great lesson about faith. And the faith that I have is determined upon there is an omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing source. You call it what you want, that cares as much about me that my mom cared about me. The only difference is it's omniscient, all-powerful, and all-knowing. And as much as I would have loved my mom to be omniscient, all-powerful, and all-knowing, she wasn't. and neither am I as a parent, and as you know, neither are you. And so for you, what does faith mean to you, and how do you utilize it in the same respect?
Well, when I wake up in the morning, one of the things I say, all things work together for good, for those who love God and for those who are called according to his purpose. Now, I didn't say all things work together and are good. All things work together for good. So I have faith that even when things don't work out the way that I want them to work out, it's okay. Because what I know is faith not tested can't be trusted. I am going to be recognized by Cancer Centers of America in about 2 weeks. They called me the Cancer Centers of America fighter, me and one other person. I'm a 29-year prostate cancer, 4th stage cancer survivor. And what has kept me here has been my faith. I remember when a doctor said to me, he said, your PSA is 2,400. I said, what does that mean? And he said, 1 to 4 is normal. Cancer's metastasized to 7 areas of your body. This 29 years ago, and has eaten 43% of your T1 vertebrae. I said, is there anything else? He said, yes. And you're ugly too. I said, oh my God.
And then you said, let me sing to you. You'll really love it.
Right. But then he said, and it was very strategic how you did that. Because when people listen to you, what you do is distract, dispute, and inspire. As you know, how people live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. So he distracted me from the fear. And he said at that moment, as we both were laughing, but you got this. He said, I never tell my patients they're terminally ill. What I say is that my talents, my abilities, my skills have terminated. Now it's on you and God to work this out, to do your part. And Zig Ziglar said, most people in a fearful situation, they forget everything and run. But there's some, because of their faith, in a fearful situation, they face everything and rise. And so I left there not with a heart full of fear, but a heart full of faith. As Zig said, fear, false evidence appearing real, faith, finding answers in the heart. And I said as I left there, Lord, whatever I face today, together you and I can handle it. We got this. And 29 years later, the cancer rate in my neighborhood dropped by 97%.
Oh.